where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street, they hawk. Still them talk, say, make we no talk. But thank God, say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. And people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This man not dey off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Aha.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í kó níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary.
Kindly let me know if this picture is better on your screen, okay? I got myself this new iMac, lovely desktop, okay? And I'm trying it out tonight, and I want to know if everything is going on fine. If the words are tallying with my mouth, like, so you should please let me know. And if the voice is quite clearer as well, but while you do that, share the broadcast.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
So far, so good.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Thank you very much. As you are joining us, please share this broadcast, okay? Look at, read the caption of the broadcast, the description as well. Share the broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends and tell them that Mayegun is live. I'll keep trying what I'm trying before we start fully.
Ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Presido bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Did you say low sound?
Àní ẹ̀sùn.
Is the sound all right?
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Thank you very much for joining me this evening. For everyone who has read the caption of the broadcast and they are comfortable. You are comfortable with the picture. You are comfortable with the audio. So far, so good, somebody said. Now we can get started, okay? So from wherever you are watching from, I hope you have also read the caption of the broadcast. Or if you haven't, I'll quickly take us through that. Now, you know, one of the reasons why Nigeria has been in turmoil is because of the immunity from prosecution given to the armed Fulani terrorists. And what they have told us in the past was that from the onset, you know me, I like going back to the way it all started from, so that you understand some of, you'll be able to understand why we are where we are. And then the guys who are trying to be posturing like a sanctimonizing and all that, they will not be able to play with your mind. And you probably get to understand why people like us have never, ever, and will never ever trust any word that come out of the mouth of these criminals. They told us, they said the terrorists terrorizing Nigerians, they were from Mali, they were from Niger, they are from Chad, Libya, Cameroon. They told us they were from everywhere. The question people were asking them was, how did they get into Nigeria? How did they get into Nigeria that they have now become a bigger threat? They said, no. The real Fulanis are the ones who just go with their cows everywhere. Deal with these terrorists. This is terrorism. If people from Chad are killing people in Oyo, do you know how many thousands of miles they have crossed before they go to Oyo? If the people from Libya are killing our people in Ekiti, then we should ask those who are supposed to keep us safe, how did they get in? How did they get here? Now, we were asking these questions from the earlier stage of this whole madness. But guess what? Many of us, and people like myself, were gaslighted. We were called alarmists. We were called enemies, trying to create problems in Nigeria, even though we were just exposing the problems that they have brought upon Nigeria. We didn't know that they were going to give them immunity from arrest, and if they were ever arrested, immunity from prosecution. And in fact, we didn't know that we are going to be given options later in this APC, Egbeke government. So they said they were from Libya. Then deal with them. How did they get into Nigeria? Who are these guys? How could somebody who is a Fulani man, born and raised in Sokoto, decided to start killing people in Ogun State because he needs a land to feed his cow or to graze his cow? This whole thing doesn't make any sense. So we said, just like this joke, they said, if you are buying a used car, make sure that the former owner doesn't keep or still doesn't have the spare key. And the joke there is that this statement is not about a car. It's not about buying used car. For those who know the joke, I'll tell you. Or for those who don't, rather, I'll tell you. The joke is that if you are going to, snatch a woman from another man, or you are snatching a man from another woman, just make sure that whoever you are taking them from doesn't have the spare key that could easily access them. And that could be you buying, what do you call it? Buying your, what's they call them? Your own HPP, high blood pressure. Pressure, rather. The joke was on us. They said these guys were from Libya, Chad, Niger, and the rest. And we said, how could somebody from Niger be killing us? They said, no, don't talk like that. If you are talking like that, it's like you are hating Fulanis. Say, no, don't mix them up. This is the problem. There is a crisis. There are crimes being committed. And those who are committing these crimes, right, are committing the crime in the name of adding and, herding their cows. And who are those who had cows in Nigeria? As you told us as government, the Fulanis. So if we now say Fulanis are the victims who survived some of the attacks, who came back to tell us the story, they told the whole world. And they said those who attacked them, they are Fulanis. Video evidence and many others, surfaced. Then they say, okay. What happened is that in order to bring peace in Nigeria, the issue of cows invading farms, hitting people's crops and the rest of that. And this, Fulani herdsmen fighting back or being kind of a violent. And okay, the solution, we found the solution. Okay, what's the solution? You're going to shut the border? Are you going to flush these criminals out of Nigeria and then shut the border so that we will never have to face this kind of existential threat? Sorry, they call it existential threat. Madu. No, that wasn't the plan. They came up with a plan that we would have to open up what they called grazing routes. Hello, grazing routes, to stop those who are kidnapping people, killing people, raping women, vandalizing their farms, invading villages, sending people to refugee camps as internally displaced the people's camps. So it's because they don't have a route to take their. This doesn't make any sense. Come on. They said, okay, fine. There's no grazing routes. Let us create cattle colonies for them. Just like I said that it wasn't about the Fulani terrorists. It wasn't about to fight them. It was actually about a control, control over land by some vested interest who believed that they could use this current one Nigeria to abrogate the people that are their own nation before they force us together. Now, not just that, to now abrogate the land by resharing the land. They call it land redistribution, but they didn't see that to Nigerians. So they brought violence. Then they brought solution. What is the solution? Let us create cattle colonies for those who are kidnapping our women, our children, our mothers and our fathers on the farm, our people on the motorway. That's not a solution, is it? No, all of you just hated Buhari. That is why you don't want to listen to the solution. It's not a solution when you tell people that the only way they can survive the terrorism you have brought upon them is for them to part with their land or their lives. I mean, I didn't say that. Somebody said that. And if you probably today, that the Senate president, number 3 man in Nigeria, is now saying cattle business is not a private business. It's a government business. Therefore, the government, that this Bukwari government that is rounding up, should do something about every move that they have made, because all the moves have failed. Though. Let's go back to their solution. People from Shad and in jail, because if it were to be Fulanis, the Nigerian Fulanis, the ones that are also on social media, the Nigerian Fulanis watching me right now, then get states, and they themselves know that wherever they have been, they call their states in Nigeria today, must have been the place they could have called their ancestral land. Yes, you have 19 states in Nigeria. 19. Out of the 19 states, you have about 11 to 12 Sharia states, powered, engineered by the Fulani oligarchs, as well as their Hausa counterparts for power control, just for that, when it comes to power. So, which means if you see any Fulani from Nigeria, he get states, he get where he go see them born arm. So how come he go come live in state and say he's going to start kidnapping people right there in Yoruba land, in Igbo land, start ransacking farms, villages, killing people, burning houses? Does that make any sense? So that's why I said the joke of you ensuring that the person who owned the old car still doesn't hold the spare key. The people who brought the terrorists on us as a people in Nigeria, APC, Egbe, they brought solutions. All the solutions, they had to do with either our life or our land. And it has always been the solution from the word go. Guess who led the committee who made that suggestion? Pastor Ruga, fake Pastor Ruga, Ikene Shatabandu Oshibade. He made the proposal. He set up a committee to find a solution to the crisis. They call it Farmers' Others Crisis in Nigeria. Farmers' Others Crisis. But now only the farmers, they die. Have you ever seen anything like that before? Farmers' others. When they say farmers and others clash, Fulani for others. Nigerian farmers. Everywhere they say Fulani farmers and farmers others clash. When you read the news, you will be hearing about 4 or 5 people dead. You will not see a single Fulani hard man who clash with them, or you will not see any of them dead in that clash. It is always the people who are fighting back, they are always dead. And then the media will say, farmers others clash claimed 22 lives in Jigawa. How? Because others moved his cow to the farm and started uprooting their crops to feed them to his cows. So how is that fair reporting? Because it was deliberate. It's not about cows. It's not about herdsmen. It's about land and control. Cattle colony, Nebo. If you want cattle colony, you start cattle colony in northern Nigeria now. Show us what it looks like. You know what they call the cattle colony? The government want to build ranches for the armed Fulani terrorists in order to stop terrorism of others farmers clash fraud. How could you say you want to build ranches for people you said invaded our land? Because if you say Fulani from Sokoto, Fulani from Kebbi, Fulani from Borno, oh yeah, now who could deal with them one-on-one? Ask them, Baba, how did the Sokoto land enter Yewa land? How did the right of Fulani Sokoto or Fulani Borno, Borno Kanemi, how come in this Nigeria, where was it written that for a Yoruba man to live in peace in Nigeria, he must be willing to part with his land? For a Fulani from Sokoto, from Jigawa, from Niger, from everywhere, where is it written in Nigeria, this thing? But it was because it's not about the Fulani, it's about the criminals. And I'll tell you, because that's the final thing they did, or they tried to do. People said, well, you can go and start your colony in northern Nigeria. Show us what colony look like. Fake Pastor Ruga and his committee, they proposed that, you know what, we are going to build Ruga. No. When cattle colony no fly, they can't change it. They say, we are going to build Ruga. Okay? Ruga is Hausa word for settlement. Now, waiting here, I don't know the meaning before. Maybe in Hausa or maybe in Fulani. It shall mean settlement of the Fulanis. But when Pastor Ruga will put it in documents, the fake document they are trying to use to bobo and make people make peace with their killers by parting with their land. And the killers, nothing is going to happen to them. If you don't give them land, they will continue to kill. There's nothing we can do about it. They call it rural grazing area. They can't use Oyibo. As usual, fraud. Rural grazing areas for Fulanis. And people were saying that, so if I want to do my piggery business, where I want to start rearing pigs, can I go to Sokoto and get land for where I will rear and, raise pigs? Would that not create such a tension that would likely cause a near civil war in northern Nigeria, even in Nigeria? No. You cannot talk like that. That's very insulting. How can you say you want to go to northern Nigeria and start raising pigs? And I said, how dare you? How dare you confidently face the people and say, for peace to reign, the government is trying to make peace. All of you are trying to make problems. For peace to reign, we just need to part with small portion, just small. What is wrong with you? Small. And then you want to deceive them after you have terrorized them. Some of you don't know that the terrorism you are seeing in Nigeria today is the handiwork of your government and the politicians in Nigeria. You don't know, Abi? Some of you will have to learn what they call them? The law of power. Those who seek power are desperate. They are cold-hearted. And they care only for one thing, for themselves. Do you understand that? And they only do what again? They only trust themselves. And they know that either of them in the game of power could be sacrificed for another person to climb. That's how cold-hearted they are. The game of power. They brought in terrorists. Then suddenly, the Nigerian intelligence community, the Nigerian security community, the Nigerian ADSS, and the rest of them, who can track you down if you see anything about them on social media. They will track, even if you use a fake name on social media, they will track you down and track you down within 24 hours. Now, suddenly, Nigerian security system couldn't track the terrorists because for peace to reign, we need to give them land. That's the solution. Remember, now the genesis be this, so this is where the whole thing started, though. This is where, when people tell you to run, Nigeria is not for you, this is where everybody built their theory from, because it's not hard to tell. A government that wants to stop insecurity will go after terrorists, terrorizing Nigerians. You won't give excuses for them, would you? No, you won't. But because it is not about, the Fulani terrorists themselves. Because listen, the government in Nigeria is headed by a Fulani man from Niger Republic. Majority of those who are like associating with him, they are either Fulani, or they are Muslim, or they are from the north. Muslim, Fulani, Hausa, Muslim, Kanuri, Fulani, you know. But can you say the average life of a Fulani, the life of an average Fulani in Nigeria is better than the life of an average Ijo? Can you say that? Wait, oh, don't vex say they take you round. Now so me how they do. Just pay attention. Would you say since Bokwari and his gang of terrorists have been in charge of Nigeria, would you say it has been to the benefit of an average Fulani in Nigeria? At least you have Nigerian Fulani. Abi, you Fulani watching me right now, is your life better right now than that of an Ijo man? Or is it better than that of an Igbo man, or Igbo woman, or Igbo boy, or Igbo girl? It is not about you. Now too dumb to be allowed to be, infuse you into their dribble and their nonsense, and you kind of swallow them. So it's not about them. It's not like, oh, they are giving Fulani a special treatment. There is no special treatment for them. The terrorists are getting their immunity, and the immunity is, as long as you can fund your this, we just need to use you to build something and take Nigeria to where we want it to be, the Islamic Republic of Nigeria. No offense to you if you are a Muslim, because even them doing it because of their fraudulent Islamic this or that, it's not about Islam as well. You can take that to the bank. These ones are not Muslims. These ones they are not real religious people. You know that. These are cold-hearted criminals, actors, actresses, who knows where to press your mumu button. And once they press them, shy, you begin to say, I mean, it's because it's theater. It's not about anything. This is what they are doing. The only thing they have for the terrorists they have unleashed on us as a people is to ensure that, one, they have regular supply of the firearms they are using to terrorize us. That is still going on every day. Here you get. And when you see, look at the people behind the whole thing, you shouldn't shock you that they are likely going to be the same people promising that they are fighting the terrorism for you. Don't be surprised. But it is still going on. The terrorists are getting their guns. They are getting their money whenever they kidnap people and they need ransom from government, from the people. They get them all the time. There's no interference, no CBN tracking, no phone tracking, no nothing. That one is going steady. But for the real terrorists that brought them, the ones that are already in power, how do we institutionalize this terrorism? That's exactly what they are now trying to get. What if we get cattle colonies down south? That's the target, okay? Or in some part of middle belt part of Nigeria, where they tend to be disagreeing that they are northerners. So what if we try to get all these ranches? We call them ranches, but what we need is just land to resettle some Fulanis. They will just be there, just resettlement on, you know what I mean? But the land itself will be gazetted as the properties of Nigeria. So the Fulanis, they are saying they want to relocate, build ranches for, do this, do that for, No. They are not building anything for them. Sure you get. The terror will make you think, oh, well, that sounds good. If that will be the solution, then let them build it. No. they will gazette the land, just like your oil rig in Niger Delta and some other properties of supposed Nigeria owned by them. Eventually, you'll find out later that all those land belong to different families from northern Nigeria at the end of the day. And there's nothing you can do about it. They will tell you they are building ranches. They will use your money. They say, we are building. No, they are not building ranches for the terrorists that they gave guns to. All those are just like holding it for what they are going to do later. Because you see all those places, they are going to end up becoming constituencies within southern Nigeria. And you can't say that because they are Fulani or whatever it is, they are no longer part of the land, that they should move. Where do you want them to go in 10 years' time? They will say they own the land. The government will make laws, everything that will, stimulate them and put them in. But all of that as well will not make Nigeria last. That's what I've told people. They are the ingredient that will finally break Nigeria. It's just a matter of time. Katu koloni bawo. No. Forget Katu koloni. Forget a grazing route. Let us try Ruga. Abe nshireni. Ewotu ni Ruga. Rural grazing area. When that didn't fly. Now so Femi Oponu Adeshina. Now so him provoke. This is a playback. For the time when Femi Oponu Adeshina said, what is really wrong with you people? Every small thing you complain. Every solution because of cows, human beings are being slaughtered, killed daily in Nigeria. It was so bad that indigenous people in Nigeria rose up to say, we are going to defend ourselves. It is our right to defend. It was so bad. But during the heat of the time, Femi Oponu Adeshina asked all of us a very, very stupid question, and it was, of what use is your land when you are dead anyway? They're asking you to give the land, your land or your life. They do shakara, they do like say, of what use is the land when you are dead? Ha! Now, from that day, I realized that we are done for. It's a reminder. Let's see. Femi Oponu Adeshina
can actually
I need to take you up on that.
Let me give you a perspective.
Yes.
The state governments or the governors can actually give lands for ranches, but is the federal government also concerned about the kind of consultations that may have gone on between the state government and the people living in those communities who have ancestral attachment to those plots of lands?
Ancestral attachment? You can only have attachment when you are alive. If you are talking of ancestral attachment, if you are dead, what does the attachment matter? What does it matter again? Ancestral attachment, you can only have attachment when you are alive. If you are talking of ancestral attachment, if you are dead, what does the attachment matter? What
does it matter anymore? If you are dead, that was the spokesperson for the president of Nigeria, trying to understand why people are so upset. What is wrong with you? Why is everybody so kind of, we're just trying to help you. Just trying to what people were saying, when you have a business, government can support businesses. Okay? That's fine. But if the government now says a particular business run by a particular ethnic nationality in Nigeria deserves the utmost attention of the government of Nigeria simply because they are now causing a serious wreaking havoc in Nigeria. And if we want peace, why not just part with the lands that the person is killing you because of it? At least he needs to feed his cow. We can't all be insensitive. Let's be serious here. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
is the land. You know, all of us are going to die anyway. So what's the land? Why not just give the land so that you can still be alive? You know, like, this is not coming from somebody who just want to advise you. This is coming from the spokesperson of the president of your country, which means in their inner circle, they see many, many of you who are dying, being killed without any help from your government. They see you as foolish people. Like, look at them. They are just foolish. Now they are dead. Look, they are now dead. So I'm saying all of this because some of you may not really understand where the angers of the people who are done and tired with all of this, why they want to be out of Nigeria. Don't think they are selfish. It is because they are tired of being played, or even themselves playing themselves. You know, it is so sad for people who realize how messed up a system like this has been. In fact, how exposed the system like this have shown, for them to still be beating themselves like they could get something out of it, something positive out of it. When others are like, no. You're not going to get anything out of it. It's going to be worse than what you have ever seen. And it's going to get worse and worse. It's just become that now. There's a guy called Bello Turji. Bello Turji is the leader of the Fulani armed terrorists in a part of northern Nigeria. The guy, they signed endorsement deal with state governors. They signed endorsement deal with him, protection deal. Imagine state governors signing a endorsement deal with terrorists so that it will not kidnap their people. Instead of kidnapping their people or killing them, they will be paying him, and he won't do that. And if there's if there are any other terrorists who want to start killing people in their state, so that Turuji will now use his own armed kidnappers and terrorists to fight them because government don't pay for everybody insurance in Nigeria. So it's all deliberate. Somebody had something to say, which or reminded us of the promise. If you kill a Fulani, what they say, if you kill a Fulani, it is a debt that you will repay back one day. The person who said that is now a governor, two-term governor of Kaduna State. Guess what? The people of Southern Kaduna who fought these terrorists, who fought the Fulani terrorists to the fort, the state government killed their own Adara of Adara Kingdom. They killed him. Not just that, they invaded his kingdom. They divided it. Some part of this Southern Kaduna they now have emir. They are now called emirates because they have the power to revenge. If you fight them today, they will wait. They will come back and they will kill you. How are they able to do that? Because they believe they can get away with anything. All they need is just to be in power.
The National Assistant Secretary of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association. Thank you for coming on Sunrise Daily this morning.
Thank you. Good morning, Nigerians.
You have said that this new crisis has caught you by surprise.
Yeah, it is surprising because we thought people would learn lessons.
You said you thought they would learn lessons, and you said that these lessons were rooted in the 2011 crisis.
Exactly.
You also allege that this, people are coming from the outside.
Yeah, and this is why. The recent crisis started in a village called Ninte. A farmer.
Not Godogodo.
Ninte, yeah, in Godogodo Chiefdom. The village, the actual village is Ninte.
Okay.
In Godogodo Chiefdom. What really happened was that a farmer decided to go and farm along the stock routes, or to block the stock routes. And these stock routes were not even local stock routes, international stock routes. You know that a cow is just like water. If you build your house along the passage point, when there is flooding, you know what will happen. That water will not just go around because your house is there. It will just take out your house. The same thing, we have well-established, well-documented stock routes that have traversed the entire African continent. You can start from the Central African Republic, crossing Cameroon, Nigeria, into Benin Republic without even asking the cow, without even going in front of the cows. You just follow them, they will take you there. So a farmer decided out of his, I don't know, we call it mischief or whatever, to farm in that area an argument ensued between him with and a pastoralist who was flying that route, and it resulted into fight. 2 of them got wounded. You know, the Ardo of the area, the Fulani leader of the area, took 2 of them to the hospital and paid the bills. When these stories spread, some youths within Minte decided to retaliate. They killed that Ardo. They set him ablaze. They burned about 76, nomadic settlements. And that was the beginning of this crisis. So what we are saying is that we did not learn any lesson. Afterwards, people started blocking roads, killing people. People started blocking international stock routes. While we were trying to resolve 2011 crisis, appealing to those people that were affected, you are killing more people. That's why I said we have not learned any lesson from 2011.
So you do believe that there has been some quarrel, and that is what is at the bottom of this particular crisis?
Of course.
I know it can be very, very annoying. Sure you get. Sitting down there and listening to this Fulani, well-dressed Fulani, wearing a well-starched babariga, explaining the reason or the cause of the crisis that has now seen tens of thousands of people massacred or killed in the last 7 years in Nigeria. That guy, back then, is the Miyetti Allah. Immediately APC, Egbekegbe came in. Miyetti Allah gained prominence in Nigeria. In fact, according to Garbage Shehu, Miyetti Allah can be compared with the likes of Afenifere, the Yoruba socio-political group, and Ohaneze Ndigbo, the Igbo socio-political group as well. That's to tell you the prominence of that guy that was talking there. It was saying something about a grazing route. I've told you about that before. Imagine the audacity. Imagine the confidence at which it was like talking of international grazing routes, that cows are like water. 2022. But here is the deal. That guy lives in Abuja. Nobody knows anything about him until Bokwari came in. And the guy himself is being guided like one of the ministers in Nigeria. He drives in convoy. He attends the press conferences. And then he meets state governors here and there. And he also broker his group, Miyetti Allah, broker peace, as they call it. They negotiate for ransom payment whenever you are kidnapped. Which means they speak and defend the Fulani terrorists in Nigeria. They are the reason why many Nigerians believe that whatever the Fulani terrorists are doing to Nigerians, it is simply because they are reacting to how Nigerians are treating them. It's because of the guys like this. But fair enough. That didn't move or change anybody. It just made everybody realize that, we are done for. This is it. If you don't stand up and fight for your right now, if you don't stand up and fight for yourself, you will be dead before you know it. Madirao. Abi, explain to me. How are cows compared to water? They are cows when they are moving. If you build on their way, on people's land. Today in Africa, they have chased all these criminals out of everywhere. Mozambique, Mauritius,
Ghana, Benin, Togo, all over Africa, then chase them. If you see any of them with any of their cows, because they realize that many of them are actually actual terrorists that are ready to hide behind pushing or sending. So they don't want them in their territory. All over Africa now, they are chasing them everywhere. Nigeria now said, come to Nigeria. You are welcome in Nigeria. Just come here. And that is exactly why the insecurity in every part of Nigeria escalated. I be waiting cow go chop for northern Nigeria, where the cows where they there right now are not are not already feeding on. So that the Fulani from Ghana, the Fulani from Chad, the Fulani from Niger, from Libya, from Cameroon, that they have already chased away because of listen, they say Fulani terrorists. They are the fourth deadliest terrorist organization in the whole world. Deadliest, too. In quote, deadliest. But in Nigeria, they are welcome. This is what push everybody to the edge, my dear listeners. This is when people realize that, and that's when the rhetorics like, we don't want all these Fulani terrorists in our land, we don't want this and that, they are doing this to us, they are doing, you know what I mean? Because people became agitated. Their government couldn't help them. Instead of their government to help them, protect them, their government is giving them the option of, sure, you want to die, Abi, you want to give them what waiting they want. Now land they want to. When all of that didn't work, they now pushed a bill. They call it a waterway bill. Sure, you know what that is as well. You do? Waterway bill is the one that will now give the rights of ownership of your waterways, and then the bank, from the bank of your water like this, you know, from the bank, river bank, or water bank, ocean bank, anywhere where land shall start from the water or ocean. Then you have to count 10 miles. That's about 13 to 14 kilometers. So all of you who have houses close to where water day, where river day, Lagos State, all of you living in Aja, all this place, shall we water? Water day Aja? No, water do day Aja. Don't even know. Anyway, all of this place, shall we shall water shall day? You have to go and find another place to live. They are pushing a bill like that, and they call it for peace in Nigeria. It didn't bring any peace. It brought more suspicion. It brought more division. Today, to now nail everything, they have now decided to give you Muslim ticket. And they are still blaming you for it as well. Why are you reacting like this? This is not about Muslim. This is not about religion. It is about everything. When they show you their color, believe them the first time. Don't they make excuses for them, because the consequences of you making excuses for them is so fatal. You can die. We have seen enough of this. Yes, we have. I have seen enough of this. I have reported enough of this myself. So they gaslighted us. Stop saying that. Just say you don't like. I said, no. A Fulani man, a Ijaw man, a Robo man, Igbo man, I don't get problem with them. Why should I? When I did my small corner, they try to survive. Then did their small corner, they try to survive in a skilled, rigged Nigeria. But the moment they can't say where I did, they try to survive on my own, can't bring gun, can't they pursue me? That is what I'm talking about. We know those who are doing this to us. We know where they are. We know those who are backing them. So how dare you trying to gaslight us? How dare you trying to make us look like we are the real problems here? For 7 years, they made some people believe that now people like this they cause problem. Today, many of you in northern Nigeria, you fear Nnamdi Kanu, you fear IPOB, than you fear the armed Fulani terrorist, or even Turuji. Do you know that? Anyway, do you know that an average northerner is more afraid and scared? God knows what they told them. God knows what they have fed them. He's more worried about what Nnamdi Kanu can do, what Sunday Igboho may do, what IPOB, what they can do. Nigeria, Buhari is being gentle on these people. But when you mention Turuji, when you mention Shekau, when you mention Shetima, when you mention Buhari, when you mention all these terrorists you can tell their countenance, you can see their feelings and all of that towards them. Have you ever noticed that, have you? No? No, you should have. They are more worried about what other people are going to do where they are than what the real terrorists are doing. Now, if me, at the para, the vex, they killed their 4 people in Oyo North. They killed 3 people in so place. I'm angry. Why would that happen? How is that possible? Why would they let them do that? We are going to fight. We are going to push back. Then somebody from the north will be, why do you hate? Why are you talking like this? How do you know they are Fulani? How are you sure that they are Fulani? Is it because all this hate, you hate Buhari? I said, should you be asking me that? If indeed there is a government that actually cares about the people and nab these rogues before they even get away with what they are doing, rather than protect them, nab them. So they were gaslighting us and doing all of that. But today, we continue to stand firm by letting people know that no matter what they say, no matter the trick they want to use, if you fall for any of them, it is your fault, it's nobody's fault. Because the lie they tell, or the lie they are telling you, the end goal is mostly not about the people they are saying them for. Because look at it this way. If I want to start a farm now, the right thing for me to do is to approach my bank, Abi, and say, let me go to the bank because I want to start a business, a farm. If you want to start your spare parts business, where do you think first? The bank? Your community union, village union, or town union, credit, all those places you can think of anywhere you can go to. But you're not going to go and buy AK-47 and start kidnapping people and say, because you want the government to give you money or to give you land or to give you this whatever you, so that you can start your business. So we have seen enough. So when the Senate president, your Nigeria Senate president now came out, thank you, Michael Igwe. Thank you very much as well. My first super chatter. Let me see if I still pick that. Chika. Thank you, Chika. Thank you, Michael. And thank you, Chika again. Thank you. And then I have another person here, which is Majek, T Majek. Thank you for that as well. I appreciate all your super channel. I also appreciate your comment as well. Thank you. Cow business is a private business. If Bokwari care about Fulani herdsmen in Nigeria, he would have told Emefiole, like he did on several occasions, right? He would have told Emefiole to create a sort of a loan scheme that only the Fulani herdsmen will have access to. If you are a Fulani man watching me right now, obsessed with Nnamdi Kanu, obsessed with Igbo, obsessed with the Yorubas, obsessed with the Igbos, obsessed with the people who are tired of this whole thing, because it is not even in your own interest that they are doing all of this. You should know, okay? But let's say if Buhari really care, APC, Egbekegbe, they control the presidency. APC, Egbekegbe, they control the House of Rep, the National Assembly, the Senate. APC, Egbekegbe, they control the military. They control the DSS. They control the Central Bank of Nigeria. Now, let's say if truly Bokwari cared about Fulanis or those around him that are coordinating this terrorism in Nigeria because of power, and they agreed, if they really cared about the North or Fulanis, or the Fulani herdsman that is being attacked, is cattle being roasted. Because yes, there are people who steal cows too, oh, no forget to. In this whole thing, Fulani herdsmen in Nigeria, genuine one, oh, they don't run into criminals, armed criminals, who kill the Fulani, then they stole all his cows. They will kill them, yeah, steal all their cows. But as it be now, when this terrorism now took over, you could barely like hear that they are victims too. But I can tell you this, they are victims too. I'm talking about the genuine one, because the ones where they carry AK-47, they know too they carry too many cows. Because it's not all about cows for them. The real cows are you, speaking grammar everywhere. If they grab you, your family no pay on time, they'll go kill you. Go pick another one. Like they catch a chicken for everywhere. But that's not what I'm trying to like, in a way bring up. If Buhari cared about the Fulanis, the genuine one, you Fulani watching me right now, and he also cared about Nigeria, okay, let's now use his template as a selfish person. He would have used that selfishness in 7 years. Emefiole would have created a fund. They put like 2 trillion. The money go short there. Now only the Fulani herdsmen go they access them. So that a Fulani man who lost 100 cows to cattle rustlers, instead of going to buy a gun and become a kidnapper, he won't lose his cows because he can just build a ranch. He will be educated. And he will be told that, listen, cows are not water. Cows are not water. And now because now your man dey power now. That's why we are doing this to you. Cow business is a private business. So use this opportunity in these 7 years. So once we come out, another person will come closer more. See if they care about them, but they don't care about you. I've said this many times. If you are supporting them because you are a Muslim, supporting them because you are a Christian, supporting them because you are a Northerner, a Southerner, supporting them because you are a Hausa or Fulani, you are just a stupid person that will soon become a victim of what you are supporting. They don't care about you. Listen to this. Somebody will be saying that Northern Nigeria then born out. Northern Nigeria he grew up. Northern Nigeria he became a soldier. Northern Nigeria he became a military administrator. But Northern Nigeria he became the military administrator of Nigeria. Abba. After 30 years, they gave him another opportunity, a Fulani man, who possibly have seen the worst that could have happened. Now, opportunity presented itself to now help you, the Fulanis. He didn't do that. Because if an average Fulani herdsman is really trained and say, listen, cows are not water. You will make more money. In fact, you will be so rich if you have real money to get a land, and build a ranch. You get your milk, you get cheese, you get meat, you get a skin, you get this, you get that, all that stuff, You get a lot. And now you get on. Use the opportunity now. Once your brother no dead there again, no money like that anymore. You see Nigeria, but they don't care about you. They were looking for land in southern Nigeria. That's why I told you it's not all about the Fulanis. It is actually about the land in Nigeria. In southern Nigeria. Gazettam to further make it impossible to break up Nigeria. Ever. Because once you start having Honorable Zakaria Ubiu representing Yewa Damaturu constituency, I say, Yewa and Damaturu, what happened? I say, no, they are the constituency of they are about 80,000 there or 60,000 there. They have their local government. They are small, but they are in Yoruba land. Yewa Damaturu constituency. That's what they are building. Now, when you now want to say you want, they will say, Obi Opo Zungeru constituency. They say, which one is Obi Opo Zungeru constituency, Imo State? They say, no, there is a Zungeru Fulani Obi Opo Zungeru constituency. So the day you say you want to have Biafra, they say, what you go can't do about this Obi Opo Zungeru? You go pursue them all. So they are doing all of this. Technically, not to help the Fulanis. 7 years wasted trying to push an agenda that is indeed not even in the interest of the Fulanis. They are poorer. Now, to make the life of Fulanis worse in Nigeria, because of this Boko Haram, They have now become endangered species. How then go take survive in Nigeria when Boko Haram no day again? I don't know. Let's say a thief could save them. That's why they have to bring somebody. Or this Kanuri, what's the Kanuri Shekau, Shetima, Alaji Shetima. So if Kolu do mistake, can't go kick bucket anyhow. Then their faith is restored. 7 years, no single impact in the life of the Fulani herdsman in Nigeria. 7 years. They are talking about cattle colony. They are talking about Ruga. They are talking about all these things where they will build ranch, they will build schools, they will build hospitals, they will build playing ground, they will build markets, they will build this blah 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 blah, so that Fulanis will not be going everywhere to kill people anymore. 7 years, ladies and gentlemen. Not even a prototype is built anywhere in northern Nigeria, which will tell you from the word go, give your land or your life, give your land or your life, is actually not about the Fulanis. They gave those criminals the guns to kill us, threaten us, intimidate us, and then bully us to say, okay, yeah, take them. Your land or your life? My land, take my land, take my land, oh, they have killed all my family member. That's what they are doing. It seems that people are too stubborn. They know the greed. They say, they're not going to die on their knees. We won't die on our knees. We will die on our feet, which means we will die fighting. Remember, the spirit of the people have been so dampened, and it's deliberate. So how do you rebuild that? How do you bring it back? Bring that back by giving them the right information. They need to know. They are dribbling you. They are using religion, using this in the name of Nigeria, for the peace of Nigeria. These people know one peace. That's why they don't want. Who know one peace? Who do you think doesn't want peace than the person who is promoting violence against you and pretending to be working to save you? Yoruba will call those people Onshemi Ongbami. How do you say thank you to the person who is after your life and at the same time is also offering you the protection? Let me protect you. He's after your life and he's also offering you protection. How do you say thank you to such person or to such people? That's exactly what these criminals represent. Now, the number 3 man in Nigeria, after wasted 7 years, he don't drop quote again. Cow business is not private business. The government of Nigeria must know that Nigerians love meat, and Fulanis are the ones supplying this meat. Therefore, cows are national assets in Nigeria that everybody must contribute to sustaining it. Ni kure Lawan. To ba kure o ni sunre. Eba shami. Tabati ada mewa. Tabati ada bilabi wataba. Tabati ada bilabi wataba. Tabati ada bilabi wataba. 1,000 tabati ada Fulawan. Because he's lying to you. He doesn't care about Fulani. He's the rubber stamp for Boko Haram. He has been the one who has been hitting the gavel. What's they call it? Gavel. I don't know. Whatever. You see that with the bag, order. He's been the way that has been rubber stamping all the indebtedness that Boko Haram has dipped Nigeria into. None of all of this was ever channeled towards making the life of an average Fulani better. In 7 years, what they have done to an average Fulani in northern Nigeria is to give him a gun. Honestly speaking, a gun. And in this issue of giving gun, they gave guns. Then they gave them immunity. Don't worry. If you kill anybody, we'll go save you. If anybody arrest you, any DPO will arrest you, go. You know? Imagine that. You as a Nigerian, how do you feel when you realize that the terrorist is apprehended and he's been taken to the custody because of what they've done, and then just about a week or so later, this terrorist is back in the community telling you that now you are go kill us. You want him next, you want him next. Now you go kill next. They say, well, a day, say you do take pada this town. Say you do get let go. People fought Fulani terrorists in Ogun State. Old men, no. Saying don't destroy our farm. No, you are destroying our farms. You are destroying our this and that, eh? And they conquered and they chased them away. 24 hours later, they brought in soldiers, Nigerian soldiers. And guess who led the soldiers? The same Fulani they chased away a few days ago. The soldiers with Koboko. And then in food gear. Oh yeah, they started pointing at people's homes. Now that house there. And that one, Omokon said that they beat old men in Yoruba land. So all of this gave people the idea that I don't think Nigeria is for us. In fact, this Bokuwari indeed. So today, they want you to still believe that after everything they plotted, which has failed, everything failed though. Everything failed though. That's why they are now watching and letting people get killed. Some of these killings to cover up all they have done in 7 years. All of these things they've done in 7 years are coming out very soon. These are a bunch of criminals that belong behind the bars. They should be behind the bars. If Bokuwari is dead, the day the judgment is going to come, they're going to exhume his corpse. They're going to exhume his bones. Pack everything inside poly bag, carry and go court and say, they say, oh yeah, who is that defendant? Now defendant they inside poly bag, so he don't die. Now they will be that. When they sentence him and say, they call it posthumous sentencing. Bokuwari will be jailed, even in death. This is not going away. Now that is why they probably need all this cover up. We need to cover everything. They are living in their own world. Cow business is a private business. There are Igbos in Igbo land who have farms and they are raising cows. Do you know that? Do you? Sorry, what you know they call this Igbo cow again? Sorry if I say nonsense, so because sometimes when you say something, you think say you are saying it, but you are saying something else, and like, my God, dare you? Which one did they call that cow? What do you call that your cow? The cow breed, I mean the Biafran breed, or what's in they call them, the Igbo breed cow. Some people don't know that. There are Igbos who are raising cows, maybe not in so much quantity, because they are not wearing hat and carrying a gun. All right, and then they're trekking everywhere. They have a name for them. Efi, God bless you. See, that's why I said I want to be careful. Do you know what came to my head when I wanted to remember the cow? I wanted to say Esi Igbo. I was like, I'm not say Esi Igbo. May not come be say I don't use this something where I'm not supposed to talk. I'm so terrible in understanding other languages and other. I'm not so, But Efi Igbo is the name of the Igbo cows. People said it's more delicious, nutritious, at the same time, very good for your diet. But not many people are investing in that. Not that people don't have theirs. In Yoruba land, we have our own cows too. We have people who have farms who are rearing cows, raising cows of different breed in Yoruba land. And these people are doing so on their own. Like on your own. Say you want to start farm, chicken farm. Princess, na chicken farmer. You know that our princess here, Omoba, she's a chicken farmer. She has these large farms somewhere there in Ikorodu, very big. She is the one bearing the cost of raising her chickens, feeding them. If she run at any loss, now only her and her assets, if she probably take any loan from them. No government, Princess, you supposed go get AK-47. I've been like that guy, you go to waka about and say, especially now that you said Obasanjo is doing everything to stifle your market in a way. In Nigeria today, the scarcity that you are suffering from of chicken. You're supposed to go carry gun, AK-47. They kidnap people and say what? They say why? Say because Nigeria is killing your business. Your chickens are dying and they are not. You are not making money. Cow business is a private business. That's what I'm trying. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. Any business you go into, yes, you can get the government support. Okay. There are government funding that comes and supports small businesses and all of that. In Nigeria, so you have them as well. But when you now make it a national politics, that people needed to be given land, they are immune from arrest and prosecution. Hello, it is no longer about the people, it's about something else bigger. If Islamize Nigeria, even all of you who are the Islamic faithful in other part of Nigeria, you are going to eventually reject them when you know the truth eventually, because isn't just and fairness part of the what do you call it, the teachings of Islam? These guys are heartless, and you know that. So if they hide under religion to push anything, if you buy it, now your death certificate you they buy in the name of religion as well. And it may be the last day you just realize, well, long, what have I done? Omo, what have you done? What have you done? No. So don't let anybody use that religion, because this guy, when you look at them, you can tell me, this is not about the Fulanis. Femi Okonu Adesina, once again, ladies and gentlemen.
The state governments or the governors can actually give lands for ranches, but is the federal government also concerned about the kind of consultations that may have gone on between the state government and the people living in those communities who have ancestral attachment to those plot of lands?
Ancestral attachment? You can only have attachment when you are alive. If you are talking of ancestral attachment, if you are dead, what does the attachment matter? What does it matter again? The National Economic Council that recommended ranching went around those states. It didn't just legislate it, there were consultations. So, if a state does not have land genuinely, it's understood. Not every state will have ranches. You don't have to have ranches in 36 states. So if there's no land genuinely, fine. But where you have land and you can do something, please do for peace. What will the land be used for if those who own it are dead at the end of the day? It's better, like somebody has said before, it's better to live on the land than to be under the land.
Can you believe that? For the sake of the Fulani terrorists, it is better to live on the land than under the land. You can make do with whatever you want with that. So, Lawan, there are things that a cow business, business is not a private business. You can please tell him that, yeah, Nigeria may be their personal wallet, the elite of the North. But there are people inside that Nigeria that are not part and parcel of that property of that Nigeria. They don't own Nigeria. They don't own Yoruba land. And I bet they don't own the southern Nigeria too. They own nowhere, by the way. They actually own nowhere. But if in their mind, Nigeria is their private company, then we will always like to remind them, right? That when the illusion dies, when they wake up, there may be no Nigeria anymore for them to brag about or dream about and lord it over. Again, I'm going to take a short break where, let Kolu clap for me. At least let Kolu clap for me, because I can't see all of you clapping for me anyway since we started.
That will be achieved by...
Thank you. Thank you. So what we're going to do is that I'm going to take a short break. And my short break is just going to be for like a minute. Don't go anywhere. I just want to go and make another tea. Then we're going to go to the part, which is Tifnumbu's caught and join, interview. Just a brief on that and what he said, especially on this issue of insecurity, where he said that Bukwari has done well. Because there's nowhere where Tifnumbu speaks. Honestly speaking, there's nowhere he speaks or addresses the people. That it won't sound like, it won't sound like he's campaigning against, against Bukwari. I'll be back.
Come on. Instead of going to London, you want the votes in Katsina? Go to Batsari, go to Faskari, go and empathize with IDPs, with our people. You're going to London to do what? Are the people in London going to elect you? Are the people in diaspora? So, let me tell you this, to be honest. I've always said Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his politics has never been national. His politics has always been regional, in the southwest, and mostly Lagos, where he's the El Comandante, nobody